The question is, how do I make lifting weights less boring and more enjoyable? And it's one that a lot of people truly struggle with, but I've seen a lot of very short-sighted answers to it posted in responses on social media. I can assure you that the answer goes much deeper than have more discipline. Let's face it, even gym lovers have days that they don't feel motivated to go to the gym. And a lot of times for these people, they know it, that once they get there and get moving, that they're going to enjoy their session. But there are still days that they are just not in the vibe to be there the whole time. Now, let's take someone who isn't a gym lover to start. Someone who's there because their doctor told them they had to go to get healthy. Someone who feels like they should go because it's good for them. Someone who has to be there for a sport or for their job. Finding that motivation when the mindset is, I'm here because I have to be here, can be very difficult. So we're going to talk about some methods to try to change that mindset from I have to be here to I have a purpose for being here. And hopefully over time that can transition to I don't mind going to the gym to I enjoy going to the gym. But it's a slow process that takes time. Just like anything else in fitness, there is no flick of a light switch that's just going to change the entire outlook. The first thing you can do is set goals and track them. Having something to work towards, whether it be a 1 rep max, a certain number of reps on an exercise, the mastery of a movement pattern, or a body recomposition goal, can give that initial boost to get you out the door or get you through a session that's a real struggle. Then reaching those goals or making progress towards those goals releases dopamine, a happy neurotransmitter in the brain. When the brain realizes that gym goals can cause that neurotransmitter release and it likes that happy feeling, it will start to pursue more of those similar goals and make going to the gym a little bit easier over time. Tracking these goals is important because progress can be slow, especially when it comes to sustainable progress. Sometimes it's really helpful when we're not feeling like we're making much progress to be able to look back a few weeks or a few months and see that we actually have been making slow progress. Sometimes we forget about a 5-pound jump or a 10-pound increase or a few extra reps. When we look back and we're like, oh, hey, I did have a difference from point A to point B, that can help that dopamine response, or that can be motivating to be like, okay, this is working, and keep going on that path that we're on. The other thing that's useful with tracking is if we feel like we haven't made progress and we look back and we have in fact not made progress, we can look at, okay, what did we do? Clearly it's not working. It's not helping us reach our goals. We can look at it and use that to guide us towards a plan that's going to be more in line with what those goals are. So we know what we did wrong so we can redirect to where we should be working. The next thing to try, especially for those that feel like they need to go to the gym to be healthy, whatever that might mean to you, is it's okay to experiment with different types of training. Some people get a huge sense of accomplishment out of picking up an extremely heavy weight for just a few reps, while others prefer the feeling of doing a higher rep range with a more moderate amount of weight. Don't be afraid to try out different styles to find out what resonates with you. Once you find something that you prefer, that's when you can kind of set your goals to make sure that they align with what you want to train for. And if cardio ends up being the type of exercise that you enjoy, weight training is just there to support your cardio goals. It doesn't need to be super time consuming. Another important consideration is to make sure that whatever exercise that you have chosen to do is appropriately challenging. It is difficult to find any enjoyment in a session when you're sitting there and just going through the motions. If you're constantly wondering what the purpose of a particular exercise is, it's probably because it's not challenging you. The majority of the time, You will know what the exercise is supposed to be working on when it is programmed to the correct intensity. Along with that, it's important to not overdo it. Overtraining is just as detrimental as not being challenged. If you leave every session feeling crushed, it's a very fast path to burnout and not wanting to go back. A lot of people feel like they need to spend hours lifting weights at the gym, when in reality, most people can get a huge benefit out of a 30 to 60 minute lift 2 to 3 times a week. The next way to make the gym less boring is find a source of entertainment. And there's a few ways to do this. The most common is listen to music. There's a ton of either over-ear, on-ear, or in-ear buds. There's the bone conductors. Whatever type of headphone that you prefer will work at the gym. Some people find playlists. There's tons and tons out there. Some people like to make their own playlists. Some love the throwbacks that they get to feel like they're a teenager again. Other people will use that hour of uninterrupted time to listen to the newest album release. Another source of media consumption at the gym that's probably more common than what a lot of people realize is listening to podcasts. You take two things that are kind of neutral, maybe kind of enjoyable, maybe kind of time-consuming, going to the gym and listening to a podcast. You combine them together, you kill 2 birds with 1 stone, you learn something new, you got your workout in, you get a sense of accomplishment. I think podcasts work a little bit better for, say, low-intensity cardio, incline walking, biking, something where you're not going to be hearing your footsteps in your ears that could be blocking out what you're hearing. I personally have a hard time listening and retaining to what is being said on a podcast while I'm worrying about how to not be crushed by whatever I'm trying to pick up. But everyone has their own style of training. Therefore, everyone's going to be able to consume different sorts of media while exercising. I know people who will watch like movies or TV shows while walking on a treadmill and not fall off of it. The last source of media that I'll mention is some people really enjoy listening to comedies or watching comedies while they're lifting or between their sets. I have a friend that will, during their rest, and it forces them to rest, is they'll listen to a section of a comedy podcast and then pause it, do their set, listen to the next section while they rest, pause it, do their next set, and continue on throughout their lift in that manner. The other source of entertainment at the gym is finding a gym buddy, or if you are working out in a group setting, finding the right gym partners. Having someone to share the experience with can make it feel less daunting and can also lead to some interesting conversations. Being in a group with the right attitude and mindset can really drive the intensity of a session and give that extra boost of confidence to try a new load or go for that extra rep. And remember, fitness is a journey. It's always going to have its ups and downs, no matter whether you're an individual who loves the gym or is forced to go to the gym. Let me know in the comments which of these methods that you want to try first. And please like and subscribe to the Iron Darling. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye!